to do a lot more of them. This is the general webinar over the general idea of universal. And later on, we are planning to do more technical webinars as well. Today, it's going to be me, Konstantin Kersten from Process Software. We are one of the partners of Universal, and Roni Ram from IBM Israel. And she's going to do the presentation. I'm just doing the introduction and showing the video. And that leads me to the next point, the agenda for today. We're going to do the introduction now, and then I'm going to show the short universal video. Maybe some of you already have seen it, but we're going to show it here with a nice tool. Then Roni is going to do her presentation, and after that, we're going to have a discussion. I hope that's okay for you. Okay, let's start with the YouTube video.
Sometimes elderly people had a bad experience and need help in their daily life. Most of the time they ask their neighbors, friends or relatives for help. The U-Store and one-stop shop of Universal provides solutions for elderly needs. Also, the service providers and developers who are specialized in the AAL domain can develop new applications and devices, receive requests directly from the end users, and merchandise their services, products, and applications. The online developer handbook consists the basics about how to use the Universal platform. The available developer tools at the Tools Wiki pages instruct the user with the installation process of the AAL Studio, an integrated development environment based on Eclipse for building applications and components using the Universal Execution Platform. The AAL Studio will make it easier to start the development and will make the development process more efficient. The Open AAL Studio dashboard allows the developer controlling the whole development cycle easily. When the service provider decides to offer the new application as a service to the entire community, he logs into the management center and offers it for sale in the U-Store. In this way, every needs and requirements dealing with AAL can be satisfied. The Universal platform provides solutions for everyone and brings them together: the developer, the service provider, and the end user.
Okay, that is our short introduction video of Universal, and that should have given you an idea of what Universal is all about. And for more detail, I'm handing over to Roni Ram. Roni, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. And she's going to do the presentation.
Okay, can you hear me? I hope so. Okay. So good afternoon. My name is Roni Ram, and I'm from IBM Haifa Research Lab, and we are located in Haifa, Israel. Our lab is one of the industrial partners that are being involved in the Universal project. The name Universal stands for Universal Open Platform and Reference Specification for Ambient Assisted Living. Universal is a large-scale IT project that is being funded by the EU FP7 program. It was started in February 2010, and it is a 4-year project which is supposed to run until January 2014. And my goal for today is to explain what is ambient assisted living and the problems that the universAAL project is trying to solve. If you ask seniors what is important for successful aging, these are the most important factors that will be mentioned. The first one is being in good health. The second one is having the ability to do things for myself. The third one is having friends and family there for me. And the last one is feeling safe and secure. Ambient assisted living, AAL, is the domain that is addressing these needs. And what is AAL? The meaning of AAL is using information and communication technologies to help elderly people to remain at home instead of retirement home or elderly citizens home, and the same applies for people with disabilities. We would like to help them to remain at home and to get the treatment that they need at their homes. So the primary goal of AAL is to enable independent living of elderly and disabled people at home, and the additional goal is to improve the quality of life of elderly people once they are able to live at home. So the goal of AAL is to provide the technical infrastructure to support all of these, and smart AAL services can help us to get there. AAL is not only about healthcare, as we just saw. There are several additional aspects that it covers. For example, safety and security at home. The idea is to monitor the assisted person behavior, and in case the person is going to leave home or go to bed, we check the home for potential risks, such as when elderly people forget to switch off electrical devices, gas, water, and so on. We also want the system to alert in case break-ins or robberies are detected. And another service that is under the AAL umbrella is tracking and notification. In emergency cases of elderly when outside home, you want to alert the caregivers in case of emergency, and you want to help them to find a way back home. In the healthcare domain, there are several services that can be offered at home in order to achieve a healthy lifestyle, like tracking of chronic diseases and vital signs, consumption of medications, supervise physical exercises, and motivate the person to behave according to the recommendations. Also to provide nutritional advices based on the actual consumption and the habits of this person, and also cognitive training. The AAL field also addresses social aspects, like social networking, social interaction of elderly with their friends, family, and caregivers, and also entertainment. We want to help the elderly people to remain at home, but we don't want that the social life will be affected from that. So this is a very nice vision, but the problem is that it is not an easy ride, because there is a lack of standards and lack of standard solutions for AAL. There is a poor interoperability, many proprietary systems that do not interact one with each other, and this is because there are many devices and software applications that use different communication protocols, data formats, and APIs. And all of these factors cause high development costs, and the meaning is that it is not cost-effective to develop solutions for the AAL domain. And this is what universAAL is trying to solve. The goal of universAAL is to produce an open platform for the provisioning of AAL services and the reference specification. universAAL will provide the technical infrastructure for the development of AAL services, which will reduce costs of development and cost of provisioning, making it cost-effective for AAL service providers. The consortium of universAAL is composed of 20 partners from different European countries. Some of them are research institutions, some of them are industry-oriented, like IBM, and there are some SMEs, and many organizations have a representation in the standard committees and are involved in the AAL community. The inspiration for the overall solution of universAAL is coming from the mobile domain. We have a user which owns a mobile device that some application platform is running on top of it. Now, on the other hand, we have a developer site with development tools and an online shop that is the shop for all the applications that are available. And now the application developer develops applications for this mobile phone. When the application is ready, he uploads the application to the online shop. The user can then search the store and find the applications that he likes. He can download the application directly to his mobile phone and start using it. And now the same approach is being used in universAAL. We have an assisted person in his home, and some application platform is running there. On the other hand, we have a developer site with development tools, and an online shop that is the shop for all the applications that are available. And now the AAL application developer develops application for the AAL domain. When the application is ready, the developer uploads the application to the online shop. And now comes the service provider. And he thinks that this application can be very useful to elderly people, and he decides to package the application as a service. This means that now the end user can buy a full package that includes the application with all the devices that are needed and the human resources that are needed. For example, a nurse that is coming once a day, once a week to monitor the health status of the person, or it could be a person that will be responsible for the maintenance of the system. And now, assuming that the assisted person or one of his caregivers or a relative is interested in a solution that will help the person to remain at home, they can look for such a service in the online shop, and once they find such a solution and accept the license agreement, they can download the application directly to the platform that is installed at home. The devices will arrive later by mail, and the human resources will arrive at the time that were scheduled in the agreement. And this is what universAAL is trying to achieve. The unifying ring is our project slogan, and it was taken from the Lord of the Rings. It can summarize the universAAL approach to service development, composition, discovery, and deployment as follows. One way to build them all, the services. One way to bind them by using the platform. One store to save them all, the online shop, and help the users find them. So one way to build them all, the services. Instead of each AAL service to be built from scratch for specific needs, we will establish in universAAL a standard way to build these services. And one way to bind them. The universAAL tools will make it easy for different vendors to create AAL applications, and the universAAL platform will help in the binding process, incorporate all the components together into smart services. And one store to save them all, the online shop, which will help the users to find the services that they need. The universAAL store, uStore, is based on a model of App Store of Apple. uStore will provide a one-stop shop for universAAL end-user services. It is a single place where users can easily find the services that they are looking for, purchase them, and then install them at their local environment. It will adopt a mixed policy on pricing. Many resources will be free, some will require purchase. It is also the place that you can interact with the community, request new services, publish your feedback on existing services, or ask for help with the service that you own. In universAAL, we distinguish between two types of users, the primary users and the end users. Our end users are composed of several subgroups. We have the elderly people with their family members that support them. We have also the formal and the informal caregivers and the medical staff, the healthcare providers. In addition, universAAL is also targeting local authorities that are responsible for care and companies that provide care. These are all the end users that will benefit from the services that the universal platform will offer. As we said before, the goal of the services is to help the elderly people to remain at home. Some possible scenarios in this field could be media interaction, monitor the sleep, detect emergency cases, and even provide social interaction. And all of these services should be handled in an easy and intuitive way. But our main stakeholders in Universal are mostly what we call the primary users, and these are the software developers that develop AAL applications. And also the device manufacturers that develop new devices that can be used later by the service providers, which work for companies that produce services. Integrate all the components together and create complete AAL solutions. So our work in Universal is aimed mostly at these primary users. So now let's understand the goal of Universal. The main technical result in the Universal platform. The Universal platform is divided to 3 parts. We have the runtime support, the platform implementation, and example services. We have the development support, which includes developer tools based on Eclipse IDE, developer guides and tutorials, wikis, developer sites, and modeling tools. And the community support that includes the online shop that offers a set of services for the end user. The platform is all open source, with Apache-like license. The only exceptional is UStore, which is based on IBM product, IBM Web Commerce, but all the extensions that are developed to support the unique requirements of UStore will be contributed to the open source community. The hope is that additional EU projects, stakeholders from the industry and government, and also individual open source contributors will contribute to the Universal platform during the lifetime of the project and after its end. The Universal platform is the result of a very intensive process to define the reference model for AAL, the reference architecture for AAL, and then to provide a concrete architecture. The reference model is the most abstract layer. It represents the significant relationships among the main stakeholders of AAL. The reference architecture provides a common approach to software development, which is not dependent on technologies, protocols, products, or APIs. And finally, the concrete architecture, which is a specific software solution and is based on the reference architecture. The goal of the Universal platform is to hide the details of the underlying operating systems, devices, protocols, and so on, and this is achieved by using adapters for different types of devices. These adapters are software components which make it possible for Universal systems to exchange data even with other non-Universal systems, which are being used at home, such as personal health systems and systems for energy efficiency, and so on. The platform is designed to be open and allow interoperability with existing systems, even from other domains. The platform will allow execution on a wide variety of different hardware and operating system execution platforms, such as mobile phones, PCs, laptops, and so on. It will allow plug-and-play user sensors and other equipment available on the open market, and support easy composition of service elements developed using the platform to provide higher-level services. So the applications execute on a standard platform and are not exposed to the differences among the execution platform, which makes it much more easy to develop applications. UStore is our app store for AAL. In UStore, the developers upload services as opposed to the applications in App Store. The users then browse the store, select the services that they are interested in, and pay for them. And then, instead of downloading and running it on iPhone or iPad, which is a proprietary platform, the service is downloaded and installed on top of the Universal Common Platform. Some services may be even distributed over several nodes. So the installation process is much more complicated than the one that the App Store is doing. But the common platform is only useful if most people agree to use it. And for that, we need to establish a community. This action is considered strategic for the survival of the project results after the project ends. In order to build an open source community, we are using an approach that is based on 3 pillars. The first one is publishing a manifesto that does not represent only the specific vision, objectives, and challenges of universAAL. It is a widespread call for action, inviting individuals, organizations, and companies to share their efforts to standardize a common AAL platform. The second one is the association. The association does not represent only the organization of the universAAL community. The association that we are trying to establish will be the community of the communities. It is the forum where several EU projects share their ideas, experience, and open source software. And the last one is generate impact by organizing an international competition on the evaluation of the AAL system. The main purpose is to obtain new benchmarks for the evaluation of AAL systems and feedback on the platform issues we need to face for the development of an effective and market-oriented software platform. ALOA, the AAL Open Association, is the association that universAAL helps to establish. This association is able to further the development of the universAAL platform after the project has concluded its work, which is end of January 2014. The infrastructure, the software, and the documentation produced by universAAL will make sense if they are inherited by some organization that is able to back up them with legal support, to improve them, have them evolve, and to advertise them so that they can become a standard in AAL and related fields. This organization must be independent of other organizations, such as companies and public or private bodies. So ALOA is a new AAL community that wants to join and be part of it. The mission of ALOA is to provide a shared open framework for developers, technology, service providers, research institutions, and end-user associations to discuss, design, develop, evaluate, and standardize a common platform for ambient-assisted living. The ALOA manifesto is available in this link in the ALOA website. These charts represent the projects and the countries that support ALOA. We have 13 countries that are involved and 7 projects. Competition that I mentioned before is called eval, and additional information on this competition can be found in the website. So our message to you is to be involved. ALOA invites you to join the community and to participate in its activities, to bring fresh ideas, to propose workshops and new projects, and to contribute actively to the growth of the association. So let's summarize what are the problems that we have today in the AAL domain and how universAAL provides possible solutions for them. We distinguish between technical and cost problems to user acceptance and uptake problems. From the user experience side, there are problems like no place for users to advertise their needs or to look for existing services. Users can also feel that their needs are not met. From the technical side, there are issues such as too much one-off development, almost with no reuse, diversity of devices which causes to interoperability problems, and the possible solutions are marketplace, standard development platform, and a fully representative AAL community. And these are achieved by UStore, Universal Platform, and ALOA. You can find additional information on the project in this website. The contact details are available there. Thank you. Now, if you have questions, I'll be happy to help.
Okay. Thank you, Roni, for your great presentation. And I would suggest if you have any questions, please post them in the chat, and we're doing our best to answer them. And while you're writing, I can tell you that if you want to get involved, you can join, or you should join, Aloha. And there's also an open day in Krakow, the next meeting of universAAL, at the 8th of November. If you want to have more information about that, please let me know as well. I've added my email address. If you want to have more information, or if you want to have the recorded version of this webinar, just send me your link, your email link, and I will send it to you. Yeah.
Okay, I can give a short update on the status of the services that we develop. Actually, in the scope of the project, we developed 10 services for universAAL. I can say that, I don't know, I think that maybe 50% of the use cases are already implemented in these services. As I mentioned, the project is supposed to run until the beginning of 2014, so this is more or less based on the time that was defined in the original proposal. So we have different services, as I mentioned in the presentation, some of them for tracking and notification, some of them for safety and security, for health, for nutrition, and so on. They are not available right now because they are not ready. I cannot say when they are. I believe that in, I don't know, maybe in 6-10 months, there will be an initial version of them available in UStore that can be tested.
Are there any more questions? You can always send me the questions also on the email address I provided. We will do our best to answer your questions then also.
I cannot say the type of the sensor because I'm not involved in this work, but we can check and give you an answer about that. I know that the protocols are Zigbee, Connex, and so on, but the type of sensors, I don't know.
Okay, I just checked with a colleague, and he said we are supporting Bluetooth, ZigBee, and Z-Wave in universAAL. In universAAL, Bluetooth and ZigBee, sorry for the clarification, but Z-Wave could be also implemented, but not yet.